Hi.
Hi.
I yelled, but nobody answered, so I just dropped off the packages. I was also thirsty, so I just helped myself to a beer.
That's okay. You brought all those packages up by yourself?
I'm from here. I'm used to the mountain. Climbing all the time. Question is, what are you doing here?
I like solitude. I would have figured you'd have left and gone to the city.
I tried once.
What happened?
I'd saved up about $600. Went to the city. Got a job as a waitress. Though it was in the bad part of town, so it was mostly night shifts. Most of our clientele was junkies or drunks, and one day I was closing up, and a group of junkies decided to wait outside for me. They jumped me and asked for my wallet, but I wouldn't give it to them. Just kept beating me until I gave it up. So then on, I decided to move back to the mountain, be with people that I actually knew.
I'm sorry that it happened, but that doesn't happen to everybody in the big city.
Oh, I guess I was one of the lucky ones then. Still doesn't explain what you're doing here.
I don't follow.
My daddy saw you in town. You know, paying for supplies with a bunch of big bills. If I had a couple hundred, I wouldn't be here.
I told you. I like solitude. Just me and Major. We make a good team. When I'm writing Major, I feel like Gene Autry or Hopalong Cassidy. I always dreamed about someday having a ranch in the mountains and sit on my horse and watch the sunset.
That's right, you were in the rodeo at one point, weren't you?
Yes, about 6 years.
Well, why in the hell would you give that up? Sounds awfully exciting. I mean, you're not that old or anything like that. Unless it had something to do with that hand of yours.
Yeah. I used to ride right-handed, and after the accident I didn't have the strength or the balance.
What happened?
It was the Era Finals at Montreal Expo. I was riding pretty good up until that rodeo. I was leading in points. I pulled a champion by the name of K-Star. He wasn't much to look at. He was a lot smaller than the other bulls, but nobody could stay on him because of his spinning ability. He'd just spin and head toward a corner and try to run you up against a beam. I wrapped my rig on him twice because he wasn't fat around the belly. I put a lot of rosin on my glove to keep it sticking. K-Star came out of the chute almost on 2 hind feet. He came down hard and fast and started spinning, and I couldn't stay on. I lost my balance. My glove stayed on, I came off. Couldn't get my arm out in time. He dragged me around the ring 3 times, throwing me all over the place. My hand was twisted several times by the time he got me out of my rig. I was laid up for a month. I always wanted to ride him just one more time. Now I feel like a weatherman because my hand throbs in cold and rainy weather. When my hand feels good, I know the weather's going to be good. I had a little money saved, so I bought this place. And I'm happy.
You know, I can't decide who's crazier, you or your horse. I saw him yesterday in the pastures. He was just jumping fences, almost like he enjoyed it or something. Nobody was around, it was just him.
Major loves to jump. There's nothing I've seen that he hasn't tried to jump. The day I bought him, his owner dumped his owner. It's a challenge every day to see if I can stay on him.
Or does he just like throwing people off or something?
No, there's nothing he won't jump. He'll jump anything in sight. The morning I saw him drop his owner, he jumped a picnic table where people were sitting, eating their lunch. You should have seen the look on their faces. He jumped a fireplace right after that. When his owner fell off, he just turned around and looked at her and then pranced off through the park. The owner sold him to me that day for a good price.
Did you ever regret buying him?
He's the best horse I've ever owned. Would you like to try him?
No, I don't think I could stay on.
Well, he likes pretty girls almost as much as I do. I don't think you will have a problem with it.
You see, I think that you ought to be watched closer than your horse. I better be leaving.
And cut. Yeah, nice.